I'm convinced we're the most cursed team in professional sports.
You guys are bad.
Love you, Charles.
But with Modine, I'll be here every week, baby, when I'm able to. So if you love this pretty face, you're going to get used to this shit all the time.
You listen to me, and you listen to me good. Jets fans, I stand with my boy Greenby. The New York Jets are making the playoffs in the 26/27 season. We are going to amaze people. We're going to blow you away. Playoff team, the playoff New York Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time! So get ready to rumble!
Yeah. What is up, brother? Dude, you know what? Let me say it first. Welcome in everyone to Chaos in the Zone. Wait a sec. Chaos in the Zone. We are here. We are here. Guess what? We were not here last week, man. We took a hiatus. How's your last 2 weeks been, sir?
My last 2 weeks have been okay, good. I went on trips. There was travel. It wasn't very far. It was a drive, but me and my wife drove to the Bay Area from Sacramento. Not a far drive. And we took the dogs and stayed in a hotel near a beach. And we went, it's called Fort Funston in Pacifica, just south of San Francisco. And then we went to, the next day, we drove out from the hotel to Half Moon Bay. Very popular Bay Area spot. Walked on the beach with our dogs, ate in the brewery, did all that kind of fun stuff. And I reminisced and visited some old favorite eateries, if you will, from my past, from when I lived in the Bay Area.
Yeah, I was going to say old as in how you're saying from, like a trip down memory lane kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, two places were still there. There were two places that I literally would eat with my brother at 30 years ago. And both places, the two of the favorite places were still there. A Chinese restaurant and I think the best New York pizza in California.
That's awesome, man. That's dude, I would love to go back to some places I've been in the past. You know what, dude? The chat's cooking. Look, Chris B is already sharing the Brooklyn Brothers food review channel down in the chat, man. The chat is, I don't know,
wow.
Man. Dude, I'm feeling so much love down there. I don't know if you're seeing all the highs back and forth, the hellos.
I don't see the comments completely. I mean, I don't want to be constantly looking down at my phone, but I'm going to try to get it ramped up here a little bit. But there we go. But wow, I love that Chris is doing that. I mean, what an awesome dude. Is that the video link to the new video I just posted?
Let's see. I gotta.
It looks like it might be.
If it is, man, I was gonna get to that. I'm glad he beat me to it. You know what? It's just to the channel, but I'm going to share that specific video, guys. If you haven't
But
seen
we
already,
don't want them to go watch it now.
well, no. But when you're done here, go, because Chaos actually tried the Taylor Farms iceberg lettuce.
Wow. The Taylor
Do you know
Farms
what that is?
iceberg lettuce. No, that's the lettuce that's giving everybody explosive diarrhea.
Now that would be a review.
Yeah, I'm worried for Charles because I know he loves his lettuce. Oh man!
You know what,
Jeremy, you got me with that one.
Zing! You know what? I actually grew up on iceberg lettuce, but the past few years, man, switched over to romaine. I don't think I'll ever have iceberg again.
I mean, like, to me, iceberg lettuce has one. There's only a couple of uses for it, right? I mean, as sandwich or hamburger lettuce, fine. I used to be more of a fan of it. Like, I used to always love like I'd get roast beef and Russian salad dressing and lettuce. Like, that was my fancy way of doing roast beef. And I gotta say, over the years, I say no lettuce now. It's like, because it's iceberg lettuce is just water. It's just this leafy stuff holding water. That's all it's been. So I'm kind of I kind of fallen off on it, but I will eat the iceberg lettuce wedge with the blue cheese dressing and the bacon all over it, like in a restaurant. I will do that. But when my wife makes salads, it's either romaine or spring mix.
Just get see how we get like the 3-pack romaine hearts, man. We chop that up.
Exactly, 3-pack. Exactly.
Yes, and that's not me, man. That's Hazel all the way. She's a vegetarian, and who am I to question what a vegetarian? They would know lettuce. She is. I'm like, what the hell is this thing? Some of it, I don't even know what it is. Like, what's the thing that spiky? It looks like I don't even know, man. It's like is it an apricot? But it's got spikes on it.
Oh, you're talking about artichokes?
Artichokes. Yeah, I know what that was. Come on,
dude. You go into the Bay Area, especially when you go towards Monterey, Santa Cruz, and the restaurants will do like grilled artichokes where they're like set. It's all cleaned out. They clean out all those needles and stuff, and you're just pulling off the pieces and sucking the meat off of them. And they have all these wonderful dips and nothing. I've never had it better than that part of California. The Monterey. Maybe that's where they grow them down there. But I mean, they spring. You'll find a couple at Half Moon Bay. You'll find it on the on the menu. And there's a place in Napa Valley. There's a restaurant that me and my wife go to that has it. But when a place does artichokes really well with a really good dip, wow, special.
The dip, yeah, the dip. Hey, Scott busting my balls. Hey, Scott, I'm a man. I'm almost 40. The hell if I know what an artichoke is. I do now. Okay, I do now. But funny enough, our like forever house that we have, it's actually across the street. We haven't moved into it yet, so you guys will be getting a new studio here soon when we get moved over there. But we actually grow them in the backyard. It's crazy. Like,
wow.
I'm not used to the West Coast, so I don't know how rare that is, but like just wild to see these giant like leafy plants, and then up at the top are these artichokes.
Yeah, that's amazing. We try to grow an avocado tree. That was and they're very difficult to grow, especially in Sacramento, because it's too much sun and you have to shade them. And 2 years we kept it going. And then one day we walked out and it looked like it got hit by lightning. It was just fried and it didn't make it. And we were so bummed and so disappointed because like it would have been, to us, that's the dream. We have a couple of fruit trees that we planted that are starting to produce fruit. Like during COVID, we planted a pluet tree, plums. And it's putting more fruit every year. It's starting to get big. It's as tall as the house now. It's starting to happen. It's starting to produce fruit. We have a lime tree that's not as much in the sun, so it's taking more time. We have in the front of the house, we have a mandarin tree to grow mandarins. In Sacramento, you can grow anything, but avocados prove to be a little you really have to see. I mean, there's a few neighbors with them though, Scott. Like I have a few neighbors. It's not just one. I mean, the reason why we didn't have to get a male tree to help pollinate it was because we did a search on Nextdoor to make sure we had neighbors like within a square block that had successful avocado trees, and we got 3 responses. There are at least 3 neighbors within a square block of me in this little area of Midtown that have avocado trees, but very difficult to grow. Like they need a lot of care. Like, and I think like you either have to I think you have to like literally tent them, like from the shade. Like in the summer, it's just the sun. They're just a little too sensitive to it in Sacramento.
Snowball chiming in. He says, on the next Brooklyn Brothers food review, lettuce. Hey,
let us move on.
Yes. Well played. I like that. Here's one for you, Chaos, before we get into some talking points here. Nicely Luker dash praise God. Welcome, brother. He says, dip is important, and so are interceptions. We need them in life, and without them, it's hard to win. There's another segue for us. Just a one-off, sir. What do you think about that? How critical is it that we pick off the ball this year?
Turnovers are a major thing. I mean, the correlation between turnovers and wins is very, very strong. You know, typically there's outliers. There's teams that do very well in turnovers that stink. But for the most part, when you look at, if you list the teams from the highest amount of turnovers created to the lowest, and then you list the teams by record, you're going to see a lot of correlation. You're going to see a lot of the bad teams with bad records are on the bottom of the turnover list. We all know, if we've been watching football long enough, that turnovers are critical. And interceptions are obviously a big part of how you create turnovers. So I think that we have to put last year in the past as far as the personnel is very different this year. But we also have to remember, I think a big part of it was we simply didn't pressure the quarterback last year. We didn't pressure the opposing team's quarterback enough. They just had too much time, and they were also able to run the ball against us. Teams were running up and down the field against us, during some games where they didn't even have to throw the ball. So there's reasons, but that's why we need Bailey to hit, and we need McDonald to find his 11 sack form from 2 years ago. Like we need those things to happen. We need Sweat to do what Boss Girl says. He can also pressure the quarterback. Well, let's see it, because we're going to need it. You need to pressure the quarterback if you want interceptions. It's part of it. It's all connected.
Correct. I've got some housekeeping to hit, but you mentioned something there that triggered something in me, man. You mentioned Boss Girl, and don't know what she's got going on, but let me just say, man, I haven't seen her in a month, and she won one of our giveaways during the draft, and we sent her like a prize package, and I don't know, man. I haven't seen her since. It was so. All I'm trying to say is, if you can hear this, Boss Girl, man, we're thinking about you. I hope you circle back, and not only to my channel, but all of Jet's YouTube. I don't think has seen you, so I hope everything's well over there. And yeah, man, congrats on the win. I hope you enjoyed the package that Scott and I sent. But yeah, Boss Girl, you're missed. Don't forget that you're missed around here at least. All right, getting into it. Chubb for Club is enjoying the show so far. He gifted a membership, channel membership. Chaos. This is going into the Cardinals fund, brother.
I should like enter my. I need to like say things in the chat so I have a chance to win one of these memberships. I never win. Jake Asman's channel never won a membership. Nick Shine's channel never won a membership. I never win memberships.
You don't have it off, do you?
People are buying them. I could sit there during Jake's show, and there's 1,000 freaking members being bought. Like at Nick's channel was crazy. He had 40 people watching. They bought 100 memberships, and somehow I didn't get one. Like I don't even understand it. Like craziness.
Are you sure you don't have it receiving gifts disabled? I know that's a big thing.
Oh, I gotta check. I would have to check.
You know what?
Jake Osmond got the Jake Osmond won the membership. He got.
You know what? Let's get into this. You spoke of Beetlejuice. He arrived. I'm just kidding. Jake, love it, man. I'm not there yet. Give me a second. So Chubb gave one. Mark Ferraro, fantastic early bird in the community, got that. I matched Chubb for Club, and I said I'll match any tonight. Who got that one? Roseanne. I think you might know Roseanne from Twitter. Big
from Twitter. I don't know.
Big Aaron Rodgers supporter.
Oh, okay. Big Aaron Rodgers.
But welcome, Roseanne. Yes, yeah. Very, very popular. Very polarizing. Let me just say that. And she spits her takes, man. She is firm in her beliefs, and I respect the hell out of that. Oh my god, dude!
I always get tripped out a little from the name Roseanne because no, not from the show. A college girlfriend.
Oh, interesting. We'll have to dive into that one night. Chubb doubled down, man. You know who got it? Frozen Fin Fan.
Oh, Frozen Fin Fan. That's interesting. Frozen Fin Fan. That's an interesting name.
Yeah.
Is he frozen is it like the way I'm a Frozen Jet fan? Like we're like frozen until one of our teams does something in the playoffs?
I think so. I would imagine. I would, because I mean I love the alliteration, but I don't know if maybe he just really likes fish sticks. I don't know. But I gotta match that. And then fucking Scott. Scott gives away 5.
Wow.
Nixie.
Wow.
Jake Asman.
Wow.
Chaos, we got to get that. I think you have gifts turned off, man. If you've missed out that many times, it's got to be. But you can only check on a computer, so I don't know if you want to. I could walk.
No, I'm not going to do that now, but I will.
Good.
I will
right.
look. I will look into it. Why
Quick
would they be able to receive a gift? I like gifts.
Well, when they first turned it on, it was turned off.
See, gift, and then under it, gift. This banner, gift. These were all gifts, all from one person. Phil Adams. Phil Adams from England sends me all this good stuff.
Gift.
Gift. There you go.
Gift from Jets Worldwide.
Nice.
Chaos.
Oh man, Chaos. I bought that guy 30 steaks. Like we sat in a restaurant, an Argentine restaurant. We ordered a platter of steaks. There were 2 of us. We brought 80% of it, went back to his house. I never got a hat. Put that guy's channel on the map, mind you.
Hey, Snowball, where's the beef?
Whoa, Boss Girl's here.
What? Yes. Are you kidding me?
She's okay.
She's alive.
Yeah,
she's alive.
Okay. You know, it just took a little chaos to get her back. That's all.
Dude, that tickles me.
I say her name and her ears were ringing. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Dude, that is awesome. Let's see what she has to say, and then we can get into it. I'm sure some people are wanting to talk some ball, but Boss Girl is back, baby. There's some alliteration. She says, hey, everyone. Thank you and Scott for the great gifts. Very grateful. I did reply to your email the other day. Oh, very good. I missed that so far. I'm just dealing with life. Figured not bad time when slow to break. Yeah, you know what? You took a break. I get it. We took a break off last Sunday, man. Like, and Jeremy, are you ready? Because like next Sunday, okay, good time to say it. Chaos. This is episode 32 of Chaos in the Zone. You know something we've never done?
What's that?
Invited a guest. I took the liberty, and I think you'll be okay with this, but I said, if there's going to be a first-time guest on this Sunday night new show, new, you know what I mean? Matt O'Leary, right?
I can't. I love Matt O'Leary. Everybody knows I do a show with Matt O'Leary. I can't say that he's the only choice and act too excited about it, only because there's other people who might get offended by it. There's a guy who got me into this YouTube business kind of thing that might say, hey man, what's up with this O'Leary thing, man? O'Leary didn't get you into this YouTube content world, man.
No. You know what I would say to that guy?
What?
10 p.m. start time, brother. You're in REM by then. No, it is a detractor from some. It's very late for Easterners on Sunday nights, but yeah, I mean, hey, I don't know how often we'll have a guest, but I know he's super plugged in. It's going to be the eve of camp. We'll have him for 30 minutes or so next week to chop it up.
And I'll be coming back onto the show with O'Leary. Our Wednesday show will resume again. We've been on a break. A little bit of a hiatus. And I think we're not this Wednesday, but we'll be back the Wednesday after that.
And you can see Chaos and Matt O'Leary together again Friday evening with Snowball and Johnny. So a lot of Matt and Chaos on the horizon. So buckle in, man. I don't mind getting a ton of Matt and you guys because you guys don't just blow smoke. And
the world is going to get it. The world is going to get a ton of us because Matt and I will also be on Jets Worldwide. That's
what I just said. With Snowball and Johnny.
Sorry. So we'll be there. And then so it's going to be a lot of Matt and Jeremy. And I have a brother. My middle brother's named Matthew. So I'm used to Matt and Jeremy a lot being spoken. I'm used to that combination.
Scott's saying, I'm going to get you guys all warmed up. I'm going to get you acting crazy. I don't know, Scott. We'll see. But yeah, you can sandwich Chaos and Matt into both sides of your weekend next weekend, guys. Again, first on Jets Worldwide and second here to close out the weekend. And then bam, it's training camp. So stick around.
And then we come back on Wednesday on our show. So it's perfect. You guys are going to ramp us back into business.
I love it. All right, Jeremy, let's actually throw a Jet thing on the floor. See what you see. Well, that's probably a bad phrase there. We don't want our Jets on the floor, but first things first, it's a light softball for you. CJ2K entering the Titans Ring of Honor. When, you might ask? Week 1, Jets at Titans. Do you care? Is that fitting?
No.
Is that
no? Doesn't mean that much to me. Really doesn't. I people were like, "Oh, that's it, we lost." Like, why? It's what the most meaningful part of that game is that it's Saleh, that it's Robert Saleh, and after he really wants to beat us. He's going to say it's just any other game, and he's full of crap. He wants to beat us so bad. There's absolutely no way because we're all people and we know human nature. If you got fired from a job and then you went against that company that fired you, competing against them in some way, you know that you want to beat them. You know it. So it's already in my mind a big game because it would hurt me to watch him all of a sudden beat us. Really? Here's the coach we threw away, and then he just comes and beats us with a team that had such a bad roster last year. Look at their record. I know our team was bad too, but this is his first game with a team that was terrible. And if we're in our second year with our coach and we can't get that win, I'm concerned.
I would venture to say it's a measuring stick game too. Would you define it as that?
Look, it's always possible that a team could lose a game that you think is going to be, well, if we can't beat them, and you look at our schedule, who are we going to beat? And then you look at the next few games after that, and it looks really bleak and it looks really bad. And I feel that way. I feel like in some ways it's such a must win because if we can't beat Tennessee, how are we going to beat any of the 3 teams we play next? Right. But at the same time, as I say that with a lot of emotion, in 40 plus years of watching football, I've watched teams lose to very bad teams and then the next week beat one of the top 10, 8 teams in the league. I've seen it. I've seen it many times where you're like, holy cow, And it's very common for the first few weeks of any football season to not make a lot of sense. Like teams are beating teams you didn't expect, and then they go back to being who they really are, and all kinds of weirdness in the beginning of a season. So part of me emotionally thinks it's everything. If we lose that game, it's going to be 3-win season, if we can't win that game. But at the same time, my logic part to me says teams do get momentum. Teams go on streaks that, they might lose and then all of a sudden put it together and win one of the next two and make up for it because that was a team they weren't supposed to beat. Like, I can tell you what, if they lose the first game, I'm not going to stop watching. I'm going to go to that Green Bay game and hope to my life that we win the game we're not supposed to win.
If there was, let's say we played that game now. Okay, just hypothetically, week 1 is now. Week 2 is in September, though. If we lost to Saleh, would you still go to the Green Bay game?
Yeah. I'm going to the Green Bay game no matter what. I go for look, I'm going to the Green Bay game because the company and the people, but as much as anything else. But it's it also depends. It's a good point because the Titans might win 8 games this year, right? Like maybe their young quarterback breaks out, and win, and now he has a really good offensive coordinator for quarterbacks, so you can't really predict. And then we play really well against them. It's a heartbreaking loss, but we play really well. Let's say maybe we lose by a missed field goal or something. So we did play well enough to beat them. And then maybe we upset Green Bay at home, and then it's just all evens out. So all of that is possible. But I really want to go to that Green Bay game 1-0. I really do. I really want to go in there thinking, man, if we could pull it off today. Oh my God, 2-0, and we start at the whole stadium's going to go nuts, starting to believe,
Well, for me also, and I'm with you 100%. We got to beat Saleh, but almost a bigger thing for me is to get that monkey off the back of got to get your first win. How long did it take us last year? 2 months.
Yeah, and it's such a good opportunity to get that first win, Tennessee. It's such a good opportunity to get it. Like, who are we going to get it against if not them? Green Bay, Detroit. I know. Like we just have to freaking beat them.
Let's keep going. Joe the Jets G minus the S chimes in. $4.99 super chat again into the Arizona Cardinals meetup game fund. Hey guys, funny thing. Last time Spain won the World Cup was 2010. Jets went to the AFC Championship game. Confirmed. You drawing that connection, Jeremy?
I will draw from anything that leads to the Jets going to the AFC Championship game. I will draw from anything, but let's just beat Tennessee first. How about that?
Yeah. You know what? And I'm with, and thank you, Joe. Appreciate that, brother. That is kind of funny. I didn't think of that. I don't know that I ever would have, but you were on it. Scott is kind of more so where I'm at. It's not even everybody's doing record predictions and this and that, and just pass the eye test. That's all the measuring stick should be this year. Is that a bad goal?
No, I think that there's an argument to be made to look beyond record. Like, I think that, I'm looking at record. Obviously, I want to win. I want to win as many games. I think that winning games is important. It's, if you're ever going to turn it around, you have to turn around the culture. That does mean something. Last year, it didn't mean anything to me the last 8 or 9 games because everybody was gone. We're training people. Everybody was hurt. So it meant nothing. Just tank and lose. But this year, hoping, knock on wood, that doesn't happen. I want them to learn how to win. I want to. No more tanking for players in drafts. It's time to see the team learn how to become winners and winning games and coming through for each other. And, but I also think that to what he's saying, to what Scott's saying is, I want to see, with my eyes, the young players playing well. Like, regardless of what's happening in the end result of the game, how did Cooper play? How did Sadiq play? How did Pons play? How did Bailey play? Is he going to be the guy we're all dreaming and hoping he could be? Like, we need to know. We need answers. Is Fasciano going to step up and get third year? Third year is, if he levels off at where he was, he's just an average left tackle. We need him to step up if he's going to, like, is he going to develop into one of the top or better, top third in the league? There's so many things we need to look at and see in this team, with this team. So I think that the eye test is very important as well.
I am with you. I am with Scott. I agree wholeheartedly. Pochik, the center that was made available. Were you at all one that says we got to bring this guy in, or were you like, meh?
He's 32 years old, coming off an Achilles. I mean, I'm not a giant fan of Myers, right? But I mean, and it's confusing to me. This was a great draft to at least take a shot at the young center. This was a great year. This draft that just passed was and we didn't do it. And a bunch of them slipped. There were top guys. There were day 1, day 2 centers in day 3, and we didn't do it. And I'm not sure why. Obviously, like we always said, they had too many holes, not enough resources to fix it all in 1 year. And I guess they thought we could live one more year at Myers. I do think that we had, and we didn't need depth at the position because we have 2 guys playing that could shift over to center. So taking a guy with an Achilles, the 32 years old, that's not really going to be around for the future of the team. I mean, I wouldn't have cursed if they did it. If they would have signed him, I would have been fine. But I didn't feel like we needed to. Oh my God, we have to go get that guy.
I do wholeheartedly. I don't know if you saw, but before we get into the main talking point, I just wanted to throw another freebie out there for you. The Arizona Cardinals director of college scouting, Ryan Gold, suspended indefinitely for violating the NFL gambling policy as the director of college scouting. Big time news, or is that just a sign of the times? Anything you want to add to that before we move on?
Sign of the times. I need details. What was he betting on? Who was he betting on? Does it have any connection? The NFL, I understand, has their rule. They don't want you involved at all. They don't want you on those apps. They don't want you, because one thing leads to another kind of thing. But for me to judge him, I would need to see what it was. It's like that Sornsby guy. Look, I don't have a good enough. I read it, and I'm not I don't want to say anything that's not true. I don't want to but I've been made to, and I'm under the impression that he bet against himself. That he bet on things like that he wouldn't complete 3 passes in a row or some, a couple of things that involved his performance.
Sorsby.
That is the most serious offense there is. That's the integrity of the sport. There is absolutely nothing worse than that. That is like as bad as a thing you could be caught doing, to the point where, it's really bad. And I mean, the NFL's got to be, if it's true, if that's proven, the NFL's got to be incredibly careful. But you catch a guy betting on a baseball game or a basketball game from the locker room of his NFL locker room. I understand he broke your rule, but I'm not. That's a very different thing. There's a very different level of character, right? It's 2 very different things. But I understand. But I understand that they have rules. And the one concern I'd have if it was at New York Jets, the concern I would have is not so much if they bet on some other sport that I'm so upset about their character. It's more about you knew it was against the rules and you did it anyway. And that was really selfish because you put the team in a bad place. Like, you got yourself in trouble, which hurts the team. And that would be my big concern of a player who would do that, even if they were betting on a different sport, simply because it's against the rules. And you should be, I think that I think we'd all say this, but I will say it. If I was given the gift of talent in football to where I could play on an NFL team, I would like to think that I would stay out of trouble out of respect for this gift that I was given in the world.
Facts.
That I would
Facts.
honor it. I'd honor that talent.
And yeah, and to try to parlay it into even more money is kind of wild, when it could, jeopardize everything. You're not just, buying a stock. You're putting your neck on the chopping block. But anyways, let's keep going. Let's keep going because I mean the chat's flowing, and I feel bad that it's been over a half hour and I haven't even gotten to my main talking point here, which is Breece Hall is chirping again. What the hell? Chaos, have you been plugged into Breece Hall's Twitter at all?
No. So I'm excited because you get to have a real honest reaction from someone who has no clue what's going on. I have been that shut off. I've been that shut off. I'm not watching any content. I have been shut off.
So I will say a bit of foray into clickbait by me. I'm not going to lie, because he is indeed chirping Jeremy, but not in the way that maybe that would suggest. So 2 days ago, he retweeted that was today. Sorry. Today, George Kittle says, grass looks great at MetLife. Can we keep it that way? Would appreciate it. Thanks, Breece Hall. Please. Okay. Fair. 2 days ago, Jonathan Taylor. Natural grass is not out of reach. Prioritizing players shouldn't be either. We are worth the cost. Breece Hall repost that too. 2 natural grass statements, so to speak, by him in the last 72 hours. That is indeed chirping. But again, I'm sorry if you only arrived here to see what noise he was speaking. He was actually, well, you tell me, Jeremy. Thoughts on Breece Hall, newly extended Breece Hall, mind you, speaking out, but, maybe in a better way than he's done in the past.
Yeah, that's leadership as far as for the NFL players. Like, that's leadership. To me, I agree with it. Frankie from Flatbush has been a proponent of this for a long time since I've known him. It's one of his biggest cranks against the NFL and against the Jets ownership. He's been, and I agree on it too. First of all, that's the way the sport was invented. It was meant to play on grass, and a lot of people don't realize it's not only that people are more likely to be injured on the turf, and statistics prove it. But even though it's not as big a discrepancy as people think it is, the truth is, and this is where you get really technical with it, but you could talk to doctors and talk to people. Even though the injury doesn't happen on the turf, doesn't mean the turf didn't have something to do with it. You're running on that turf wears down. Like, injuries don't just happen magically. Sometimes they do. Like, you could tear an Achilles or you can tear an ACL and it's just 100% healthy, tear. But it's not always like that. There are times where you're grinding it down, and then
degradation.
And it's a real thing. And so it's not only how many people of all the injuries got hurt on turf versus grass. We know, and common sense will tell you if you use any thought in this, the turf is not a good thing. Okay? It is harming our players. And when you look at the amount of revenue and the amount of money that these owners are making, it is absolutely shocking. Not only that they don't care about the players, and it is so penny wise, pound foolish that they don't see how much more valuable their product is, even if you don't care about the humans as people, but just keeping the product on the field. Like, for them not to see that is just astonishing to me, because fans come into the stands and pay money for the tickets to watch the stars. That's who they come for. You don't think that Steve Johnson lost money, the NFL lost money when Aaron Rodgers got hurt on the 4th play that season?
Facts. And I'm with you 100%. The only thing like I do when I so strongly agree with someone in their stance on on the panel, I try to just stop and like, okay, how can I spin this the other way? Just to make a conversation
spin this
out
another
of it.
way. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, the motive for them, it can't be just to save a little money. Like it's got to be related to the other events that they do throughout the year. I mean, they have what, 8 home games a year in that stadium. That's it. And the other, what, 357 days they're trying to make money other ways. The only thing like I would say is like gone are the days when players just bite their tongue. I think you see it all off season. People are speaking out about this. And I think FIFA and the World Cup and all that really gave them the opportunity to say, hey, grass is coming in, just keep it. I'm just saying like, this is not going away. And I hope more players continue speaking out about it. But I just wonder like, what like, how hard will it make the other 357 days if it is grass? Like, can't you wheel it in and replace it often?
There's already a layer system. There's a rotating thing where like live from underground, and they could do 2 grass fields, by the way, from what I was told. So it could literally be the Giants, the Jets, bring in the car. Like I don't know how this whole mechanism works. The point is. And it's been explained a few times. It's just money. It's like we have the technology, we have the ability. It's just money. That's the only thing. It's money. And if it was so much money that they were going to lose or whatever, but like, there's no way. How many got? Look, even if it costs $20 million, if it costs $20 million to make it happen. For every stadium that does it. I know that to us, that sounds like a lot of money. To the NFL, it is nothing.
It's not. You're right.
You're playing football players. You're playing, if you're the Ravens, you're paying Lamar $50 million. If he tears his knee up on the carpet, you're now paying him to sit. The Ravens fans are disenchanted. They're out of it. They're not watching the show. They're not watching their team anymore. It's not like, how much does that? And then we don't get Lamar versus Josh Allen. Like, how much damage does that do to the game and their product for $20 million? Doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense.
The other thing is just to keep in mind, folks, this may be something that the owners don't back down from. And Snowball said it, the amount of events and concerts makes natural grass impossible, so to speak. If they don't buckle with all this peer pressure that players are finally putting on social media at a large clip, that is, the CBA is locked in until 2031, 5 more years. All I'm trying to say is if they don't buckle, I guarantee you that next CBA, that's one of the biggest talking points.
They're not signing it. They're not signing it until it's done. And now that it's being polarized, every single time somebody gets hurt on carpet, they're going to point it out. Every time, especially when a star goes down. When a star player goes down on that carpet, everyone's going to be talking about it. And it's not just the players. The more there's something else, don't forget, the fans are talking about it.
Damn straight they are. Yeah, it sucks, man, when you have a star player go down, like you mentioned Rodgers, but how many other like running backs and all that, non-contact injuries, man, just give in. Like this is good faith.
This is the owners versus the world. Who's siding with them?
Nobody.
How many fans? What percentage of fans could possibly be signing with the owners that they shouldn't spend the money for real grass? Every single fan wants their players to not get hurt, right?
I'm with you. I'm with you. And guys, I'm going to start highlighting your comments about the same subject. I already have been. I think everybody's on our side with this chaos. But I mean, me and Snowball, we do see the fiscal reasons. I think others do as well, alongside you. But like you said, man, just put the money down and good faith measure to your your performers. Your product. And just do what they're asking for. But just to give us a little different thing to chomp on, did you happen to watch the ESPYs?
I didn't. Best
That is
team,
fine.
New York Knicks. I mean, it's funny. I'm not going to get excited about the Knicks winning the ESPY for best team because they already won the championship. Nothing's going to ever match that for me. But that was such a great thing. I'm still getting like choked up when I think about it. Even how beautiful that was, and that just so many years of waiting and wishing and hoping, and just oh my god, I love that the OG won the best play, and I'm really really happy for Jalen Brunson. Really happy for him that he's winning all these awards. Such an inspiration, right? Everybody told him he can't.
Like what a stud, man.
I mean, when you win it with Shaq or Jordan, or when Wemby starts winning it, or LeBron. When LeBron went to Miami and you won it with LeBron, yeah, you won it because he came down to Miami, and that's how you did it. You didn't draft a guy, you didn't trade for a guy that nobody believed in. You didn't, you got the superstar and you got your championship. So it's more than just that we got the championship. It's the way we did it. We got a guy. We didn't get LeBron. We didn't get Durant. We got a guy that every single analyst and expert, and even a lot of fans, said,
doubted.
What a waste of money. And that's what makes this so beautiful, this championship and that win. And this
Agreed. How often is it that you see a guy get that amount of accolades, that amount of success, being so critically doubted for years? Like, just fantastic. Also, like a guy, I mean, talk about like David versus Goliath. I mean, he was 6 foot going against a 7'4" guy as the star players on each team. Like, just really incredible stuff. I was glad to see them getting the accolades. I did not watch the ESPYs. I doubt anyone in here did, but we saw the clips, of them celebrating. OG gave a fantastic speech, I will say. So yeah, just really good to see them getting that love because they deserve it. But what I will say, last NBA thing here, I wanted to just throw at you, Chaos. What do you feel about this quote here?
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. We beat you in 5. You didn't even make it to 7 games. I mean, it's like what the Cleveland guy was doing. It's like, dude, you're embarrassing yourself, dude. You're embarrassing yourself. You didn't even make it past 5 games. So what are we talking about here? Yeah. Oh, yeah, and if baseball games were 12 innings, the Mets would have 10 more wins. You know what I mean? If baseball, if baseball was 7 innings, the Mets never would have won the World Series in '86. Do you realize that? I mean, like, we could do this all day. I mean, what a moron, right? How about just instead of complaining and crying about it, luck and bad luck, how about you had the better roster, supposedly? You were the heavy favorite. How about just go out there and win? So luck has nothing to do with it. I mean, of all the games, that's one of the games that's the least based on luck. It is such a physical game of skill and playing. Like, I mean, of all games, it's like, football, the ball gets tipped up and you got lucky because it pops into your hand. You know what I mean? Luck. Football, the weather's really bad, so the underdog, the weather messes up the game. And even though normally this team would beat the other team 10 out of 10 times, the weather makes it a wild card game because it totally affects the game, right? Maybe it's snowing or something, and that's great for the underdog. In basketball, the conditions are always perfect. So it's of
Correct.
all the games, it's the least luck. I mean, like, it's like there's nothing you can hope for that's going to happen in a basketball game. Like environmentally, it's like it's the court. It's the same court. It's going to be it's going to be perfect 72 degrees. It's gonna like everything's going to be perfect.
You know what? Let me ask you, just to segue into current events. That was kind of my bookmark. Like I like to on social media, I like to bookmark good talking points and then refer back to them during the show. That was some of the ones that I've had the past week or two that I haven't been able to ask you about, but. Training camp is around the corner, sir. In fact, the rookies will have already been reported by this time next week. We're going to be on the cusp of it. So let me just ask you, like I asked Murph, I asked Dom C Friday night. He was here for a bit. What like is their position? Like, what are you like? Everybody wants to see how the offense form, like how it comes together, the defense and all that. But I want to ask you, like specific players. Is there camp battles that you think that are going, overlooked, or is there competition on the depth chart that you think could be shaking out this next month or so?
I think this offensive guard from Miami, if Myers, because I know a lot of people are very down on Myers, and rightfully so, if this kid from Miami, this offensive lineman, what's his name again? Arnez
and Inez Cooper.
Inez Cooper. I think that one of the things to look at is if he's really, really, if he stand out, if he does something which really starts popping, you could see somebody maybe move to center. You can get Myers out of there possibly, and you can move this kid from the Raiders to center or something. I don't want it to be Tippmann. Let it be Parham. But like you might see something like that, but then it depends on how he is as a center, right? Is he a good center? But that's an interesting thing, just seeing what Inez Cooper could do. Just is he going to force his way into the lineup? I think that an interesting battle is cornerback. Like we got Stevenson is the experienced one who had an okay year. We have AZ Thomas, who could have been a first-round pick, definitely second-round pick in his draft. Had some great moments, had some rookie moments. But has a lot of potential to be a very good cornerback. And this is his sophomore year, second year. Maybe he's ready to step up. And then you drafted this kid Pons, who might be able to play a little bit of slot, but is he going to be forced to play slot because of the other two guys, Stevens and and then we got this kid from the Bears who got a bunch of interceptions, who people think could be rising. Like he might be a guy that's ascending and getting really good. So it's an interesting position for us to look at who's, what's the alignment going to be in the cornerback room? Who's going to be CB1? Who's going to be CB2? Is Pons going to play both? But if he plays both, who sits down when he plays on the boundary? Right. And there's a lot of questions. And then safety is kind of up in the air. I mean, obviously Fitzpatrick's going to play, but like, is it going to be more? Is it going to be like he coming into his second year? Or is it going to be this kid we picked up from, the Giants, so there's lots of questions.
May I don't want to put you on the spot, feet to the fire, Chaos, but might I offer you a Dom Z hot take from Friday night and get your first reaction to it?
Of course.
All right. Ready for this?
Yeah.
Dom C would not be surprised. Surprise cut, mind you. So take that into account. But surprise cut, his answer, Malachi Moore.
I would be surprised if he was cut. I would be surprised. He could be, but I mean, they would try to put him on the practice squad, but there might be a team, any team that has an injury might bring him in. I think it's possible. It's a crowded, unfortunately, we don't have stars. Like it's a weak room, but we have a lot of parity in the room. That's the thing. We have a lot of parity in the room. So what Dom C said, aside from Mika Fitzpatrick, could be true for almost any of the safeties. right?
Correct.
So all Dom C is really saying is that he's throwing him in as with everybody else. Everybody but Mika Fitzpatrick could be cut in that safety room because there's not enough room for all of them. Now, look, I thought the kid has potential maybe to be a safety 3. I don't see him being a starting safety in this league. Maybe I'm saying it could, but that wouldn't be my prediction. Again, I would love to be wrong. If he's a Jet, if he's a Jet and he becomes a really good starting safety, great. I don't see that. Like if you held the gun to my head and said, "What's your prediction?" I think he's a safety 3. I think he's a guy that makes a roster. That's his potential. Like he'll get better. He'll be a guy that's on an NFL roster, not a starter that could come in and play. Though if somebody gets hurt and not be Redvine, that guy that we had come in, like that year, like he could be a functional safety, like that comes in and be a real legitimate safety 3, backup safety. But so my reaction to Dom C is no shit, Sherlock, but no,
Hey,
but
hey,
I think it's, I think that it sounds more shocking than it is when you look at the parity of that room and realize, that's true. Like,
it's almost like you're right. There's not superstar. I mean, there's Minka, but then after Minka, it's almost like you could say we're throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. Would you agree?
Yeah. My problem is that I know that they for some reason Andre Cisco played so bad last year. Worse than Moore. I have more problem with Andre Cisco than I do with Malachi Moore. That's my problem with it. Because one was a rookie that shouldn't have even been playing yet. He should have been developing, right? And the other was a guy we paid a lot of money to. Now, I see them as two different players because I think Cisco struggled in pass coverage and his assignments and being in the right place and left us very exposed. And Malachi Moore had a more up and down season, but his downs were like, watch the Cincinnati game. He gave them a touchdown. I mean, he was totally the guy. They schemed it that you have one guy to beat, and that's Moore. The running back had one guy he had to beat. That's how they schemed it. They said, "We'll leave that guy open and hope you could beat him," and he did, and he beat him bad and ran for like a 28-yard touchdown. So, I mean, I this is why I have a problem with this room. I mean, I think Belton has some experience, but he doesn't excite me. Payne, yeah, he's a fun guy to watch develop and see if he becomes anything, right? Dean Clark, let's get real. Malachi Moore, I see him as a safety 3. Hopefully, if he plays and stays on the Jets, obviously I want him to do more than that. And then you have to hope that Andre Cisco is going to have this miracle bounce back season. And he wasn't a superstar to begin with. Why did Jacksonville let him walk?
Agreed. You know what? Do you think AZ Thomas can challenge for the CB1 spot?
I hope so. I'm with Dom C on that. Look, Dom C had him as a top 20 prospect. Oh, on the big board.
Yes, he did.
Loves him. And I love him too. And I love him because of Dom C. Because Dom C had me look at him. We did a show.
And when did we get him?
We got him in the 3rd round.
Yeah, bro.
He slipped.
Yeah.
It was shocking. When they took him, I wasn't shocked. Everyone was shocked because of the position. I wasn't shocked because they signed Stevens and they had Sauce. I wasn't shocked because I said by the 3rd round, some teams are just going best player available. And he was definitely, in my opinion, the best player on the board. He was definitely the best player left on my board.
Can you read the comment below in a funny voice, Chaos?
In this guy's voice, who I think this guy is, or
sure.
Okay. You didn't know that leprechaun streamed. I'm funny. Mom, you got to see what I wrote on this show in the chat.
Can I print it out and put it on the fridge?
They're paying attention to me, Mom.
You know the best part is he subscribed for 5 minutes and waited to say that. Dewey, we're busting your balls, man. If you enjoy ball busting, stick around, man.
Thumbs up to the Dewey Decimal System.
Facts, man. Follow the rainbow and you might just find a pot of gold. This isn't the Dewey unofficial chaos. This is the official Dewey.
No, but anyway, I think that AZ Thomas, could develop into a CB1. I'm not saying he will. That wasn't when they drafted him. The hope was that he'd be a really good partner to Sauce. But I do think, I mean, when he came out of college, and I don't think he did anything to lose my opinion of him. Like, he didn't come out and was an instant. He could have came out and been an instant star. He didn't do that, but he had very good moments. He also had rookie moments where he got beat bad and he made mistakes, but he also had moments where he shut down the other team. Like, you didn't hear his name because he was shutting down the other team. They weren't throwing at the other team. And when you watch the film, there's good stuff on that film. And it was the same stuff that Dom C liked, which is the best part of it. It wasn't like, oh, it's just a fluke thing. No, he was doing what Dom C said he was good at doing. Like, he's a good one-on-one man cover press cornerback.
Agreed. And in fact, when I asked you that question, I had my own answer. And let me just say, I agree. I do think I think it should be an open competition, the entire corner room. Go out there because, hey, we got Garrett back. Who can guard Garrett? But also, like, I do think AZ Thomas can be CB1, but it is that I like him as a person, as a player, et cetera, et cetera. It's also more so damning on Brandon Stevens, who I just can't stand anymore. Just not as a CB1. Okay, as a CB2, all right. I love you, brother. CB1, I don't know, man. I don't think that. But hey, let's not forget Nashawn Wright. All I'm trying to say is nobody should have anything given to them in that room based on contracts. Okay, go earn it. You know.
I think that Nashawn Wright, could be somebody we love and be a huge scorer, or Jet fans are going to hate him because. Remember, if you take away those interceptions, his coverage is not that great. He struggles in coverage. So the only way you're going to be able to, I think, Jet fans deal and cope with the reality of Nashawn Wright and his coverage skills, unless he improves them dramatically, is interceptions. If he's not getting interceptions, you're not going to be happy. And let me give you a really good example of that. What happens when a guy who gets a lot of interceptions, who's a hero, suddenly gets exposed when the interceptions slow down. And his name is Diggs, and he played for Dallas. There was a guy who he took a lot of chances. He would stay back on purpose. He would try to draw the throw from the quarterback, and he got a lot of interceptions in the beginning. And then everybody figured it out, and he stopped getting the interceptions, and then he was exposed as not a very good coverage guy. So,
agreed.
That's what we have to. That's going to be the question about this kid, Nashawn Wright. Can he step up and be a better coverage guy?
Well, and how much of it was Al Harris? You know, that's the other question. That secondary in Chicago was so good, and it wasn't just Nashawn Wright. So, but then again, our staff is almost the entire defensive staff has secondary experience. So, I don't know. I don't know that he gets 5 picks again, but can you give us 2 or 3? I'd be down. Let's move to O though, because I do have another thing I want to hit before we get out of here. Chaos. Okay. Looking at the offensive depth chart here, anything that stands out to you that you're intrigued by before camp begins? You know, position. It could be cut or keep, or it could be start relief. You know.
Well, I mean, I will say in those starting 3 wide receivers, the way it's listed, I will say that there's going to be rotation in that. I think Cooper will play some boundary, and you'll see Garrett Wilson definitely play some slot. So, I mean, I think you're going to get when those 3 are on the field. When we do an 11 personnel, you don't think you're going to know where the wide receivers line up. I think that's going to shift around a lot and that's a great advantage for us. Let's see. Look, once you get past you have those 3 wide receivers. I think Isaiah Williams, I'm excited about. I think he's the kind of specialty role player type wide receiver. You try to get him in space. just like a punt return, right? You try to get it in that space where he has room to make one of his moves and to get going. And so I like him. We're gonna see about Arian Smith. I'm on the Joe Blewett page on that, and I love that Joe Blewett did a video about it because I was saying it, and it was really nice to have someone like him legitimize it. Because I was watching the film, and I'm no expert, but when I was watching, I get the All-22 every year on the NFL Network. I pay for it, and Arian Smith was open a lot. There were games where I was watching where you don't always see the wide receivers from both angles, but sometimes you do. And there were times where he really looked open to me. I said, I'm not an expert, but that looks open. And then Blewett came out and did a whole video about it and showed it. He goes, look, he was open. It's not his fault they weren't throwing the ball to him. Because, we didn't have good quarterback play. And and Arian Smith lives downfield. And the quarterbacks were already too distracted. They were too, like Justin Fields was a statue. I mean, whatever was going on. I'm not saying that Arian Smith is going to be a star. I'm saying that we shouldn't totally be cutting him off the roster yet.
Agreed. I agree because you don't know. He might even just be a banjo guy, and even that has value. So I would not cut the kid. I wouldn't. I'd give him year 2. But it might be a talking point 12 months from now for me. What about the tight end room? Do you see the way the depth chart is listed here by ourlads.com? Do you see that coming to fruition? What if we did it based on snaps versus production? Is it the way you see it here?
No. I mean, I think they're putting Mason there because he has the year of experience. And that's why you're seeing him listed as 1. I really don't care because I think the reality is that Mason is going to be, and so many teams in the NFL are doing it. Mason is going to be your all-around blocking inline tight end, right? That sometimes he'll be off a little bit, offline a tiny bit, like by a step or whatever. And Sadiq is your slot. He's just your tight end slot. I mean, yeah, sometimes Sadiq could do a bunch of things if you want. He could play fullback if you want. He could, and I'm not giving up on him that he can't develop into sometimes being an inline, tight end, but I don't think that's why they got him. He's a weapon. He's just a mismatch weapon. So I don't, who they call tight end 1, who they call tight end 2. I think that they have 2 different really roles and purposes for the team. And I think Sadiq is going to be part of your big play offense. Like, he's your guy to make plays. I mean, big plays. Like, you're hoping he's going to be a guy who you're throwing 15 yards down the field to, catches it, and then runs for another 15 or 20, right? Whereas Mason's going to be your 3rd and 7, throw it past the stick to him. He falls down, first down. Like that kind of guy. But because he slipped through. He's blocking, and then he sneaks away, makes the catch. He's like a check down, gets you the first down. That's how I see it. I see him as 2 different players.
Agreed. And it depends because Sadiq's blocking, if that takes a step, then I think he has a stranglehold on tight end 1. But if it stays the way, like Mason's a better blocker than Sadiq, but Sadiq's a better receiver, then they're both going to be in there quite a bit. It just depends on the down distance situation, all that, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Is Ruckert's job security safe? Is Jelani Wood's job security safe?
I think Ruckert could be. I think Ruckert's safe, and here's why. First of all, Sadiq is a rookie. Second of all, we don't know that Sadiq is going to be able to block in line at an NFL level. And if Mason gets hurt, you need a tight end that's proven that could be an inline blocking tight end, which Ruckert is not a stud at, but he's also not terrible, as people might want to say he is. It's not true. He's been okay. So might he get cut? Maybe he'll. I'm not saying it's impossible that Ruckert gets cut. Do I think he is? No, because I think he has versatility. I think he might be the new sniffer. Like, I think he might be used the way that other dude was last year that Frankie from Flatbush would call the sniffer. What's that guy's name? What's that guy that we used as a fullback / tight end?
like H-back.
Yeah.
Are you talking like Andrew Beck or
Beck? Yeah. He might be the Beck replacement. I mean, because
Beck's still here. Beck's still here.
Well, he might beat out Beck. Like he might be the guy you line up at fullback. He might be the guy, because here's the thing: you have to you cannot rely. You are very thin if Mason Taylor gets hurt and you don't have record there. Like you,
Agreed.
who's your blocking tight end? Who's your inline tight end?
And did you not just extended the guy? Am I wrong?
I just don't think. I mean, I'm not saying he can't be cut if he comes out.
No, right.
Like crap. But I'm saying is I would be very surprised if he was cut. I think they like him a lot. I think they like.
Let me ask you this.
That's just not true that he can't block or catch. That's just not true. He's not.
Let me
a star,
ask you this.
But it's not true that he can't block or catch.
For me, and I've seen others paint it this way as well, but I came to this conclusion on my own. I feel like Ruckert is safe, but I do feel like it's Woods versus Beck. Does that sound about where you are?
If any of them, I mean, I don't know if a fourth guy is going to make the squad. And I think that
even if it's a fullback, well, I
think Woods would be in trouble. I think Woods would be in trouble because Beck has the more experience, like in that role. But you know, when you have two running backs backing up Breece Hall that are power backs,
and Wang Wu,
I mean, so you have so many weapons. I mean, do you need Beck? I don't know. But this is statistically wrong from Barney Miller. It's statistically false. Like when you analyze the data, he's not. He can block. It's Jet fan syndrome. He misses in one block, and it's on TV. I hate him. He stinks. And then you forget about every great block that he made, and he made great blocks. There are plays where Jeremy Rucker had one of the key blocks that set one of our that made the play. And rating wise, he's not great. But he's not terrible. He's not. There's many that are worse. And then look at his catch and drop percentage. What are you talking about? He can't catch because you saw him drop a pass and you're mad at him. Every player drops passes. Look at his pass drop percentages and tell me he can't catch. Like, what are we talking about here? It's just not
I will
true.
say
He's not a star. He's a tight end 3. He's a $5 million backup tight end. That's what he is.
And I will say he had 47% of the offensive snaps last year. 47%. I don't think that'll stay true with us drafting Sadiq. I think that for $5 million, like you said, you get him down to like 28%, 30%, not 47. So I don't think fans will be so pressed over it when this year is over.
Yeah, he might even get less because remember Mason Taylor was a rookie, so they were like working him in, and that so you might see Mason Taylor in there getting a ton of percentage. Right. And then you might get Sadiq is going to be your receiving guy and in there a lot. And then they're going to play a lot. They're also going to play 11 personnel. They're not only going to play 12 personnel. So you might not see Ruckert in that much anyway. He might be more his role. The $5 million is not because of the percentage of snaps or him winning games for us. Ruckert's role is if Mason gets hurt, or even if Sadiq gets hurt,
insurance.
We need an experienced tight end that knows the system. That's playable. And Jeremy Ruckert is playable. He was never not playable. He maybe had 1 or 2 bad games in the years he's been a Jet, maybe 3 even, where he's been really bad. We were mad at him, but that's it. In most games, he's not a star. He's not special. He doesn't get you excited so much, but he's not losing games for us.
You know what I wish?
It's not that bad.
I actually don't mind the ball in his hands. Call me crazy. The problem is getting it there safely. Sometimes. But once he has the ball, like it's like Conklin, like once he has the ball, I sure, get him in the open field. I think you can do a much worse with a tight end 3, especially if they can play H-back like you mentioned, because then you're not only tight end 3, but you're making Andrew Beck, who Blewett loves, admittedly, we may keep two. I'm just saying, like, you get that flexibility where it's one guy playing two positions, and it really helps when the mathematics come to play when you're trying to trim from 90 to 53, you know?
Yeah. And the other thing is, I really hope that I think the worst thing that could happen to us is that Ruckert has 30% of the offensive snaps. That would be something horrible happen. Because if things go the way they're supposed to go, we want to be playing a lot more 11 because we can't keep Mitchell and Cooper off that field, right? We want it to be that. We don't want them off the field because they're really good and really hard to defend. Like, what we're hoping for is that we have Sadiq, that we're playing 11 personnel. We got Sadiq, we got Cooper, like we got guys lined up, guys everywhere. Maybe Taylor doing it, Sadiq's shifting off with however it's going to look. But when we're playing 12 personnel for the running game, I think what we're hoping for is Ruckert's going to come in when we want 6 offensive linemen, when we're playing weird kind of, only 1 receiver and 3 tight ends. And we want them in those kind of situations. But 12 personnel, we want it to be Ruckert and Sadiq. And 11 personnel, it's going to be Sadiq or Mason Taylor.
I like it. I agree wholeheartedly. Jeremy, how long you got? Maybe 5-10 minutes? You got longer?
Yeah.
You talked.
It's not a race. I'm okay.
Okay. All right. Well, something.
I have no one pressuring me today.
Let me ask you this: if I were to show you a clip, like one thing I love about you, Jeremy, and I'm not blowing smoke here, is there's one thing that really stands out in addition to your food reviews. But one thing is like your ability to see something and give a play-by-play as it happens in front of your eyes.
Okay.
If I were to show you a clip, do you think you could do that for me in the audience tonight?
I could do my best.
Okay.
I can't do it. I can't do it as good a guy. The guy on Twitter is amazing on X that does the fights. When they show people fighting and he does the commentary, it's the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life.
You may have seen this, and if you did, just go with it. But I think there's at least a 40% chance you did not. So, you know what? You don't even have to tell us if you've seen it yet or not. I think we'll get it out of your reaction to it.
You want me to call it like a broadcaster or just react to it?
Just either, you know what? You go whatever way you want to go, sir. Guys, I hope you enjoy this. Let's see. Some of you may have seen this, but I think it's worth seeing Jeremy react to. All right. Tell me when you see this come up.
I see it. I got it.
Okay. Do you recall seeing this?
I'm looking at the big screen. I don't think I've seen this. I don't think I've seen this.
Okay. All right. Well,
you can point out. I want to start by saying, hey, check out Uncle Jesse in the back there by his truck. Dukes of Hazzard. Yeehaw!
That's great. Anything you see and you want to point out, you feel free to, sir. All right, let's roll this clip and I want your thoughts on it starting now.
Okay.
It's about a minute, just a heads up.
Yeah. Don't slow down. No. You don't do that. No. Stand behind the thing over there. You might not like the flash. Don't do a flash. Oh, he's laying down. Look at that. Whoa, what the hell happened? Whoa, what the hell? Whoa, he's something's wrong with him. He's not too happy. He's gonna go after that truck. Oh no, he's going after them. Oh my god. Oh, what the hell did they do? That'll tell you. Hey, it might be legal to film in public anything you want from a public spot, but don't film me, MFer. Don't you film me. I don't care about the law. Oh, my God. We got Uncle Jesse went flying for a ride. Oh, my God. Uncle Jesse might be dead. Well, he took one for the kid, though. He distracted it from that kid. Whoa, did you see him go like a piñata flying through the air? Look at him. Let's do it again. Oh, boom. Oh, that hurt his hip. Definitely broke his hip on that.
Well done, sir. How about the flight on that guy?
That guy looked like Nat Moore against the Jets in 1982. I think it was 83 or 84 or something like that. I forgot what year it was. Nat Moore, man, got lit up. We were like playing against us, the Jets. We hit him low, and he spun around like a propeller. And I'll tell you, the one credit I'll give Nat Moore on that play, though, that I will always say, he didn't fumble the ball. He held on to the ball. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he did it.
That's saying something.
Man, that guy went flying through the air, and that just shows you in nature. Like, people don't understand that bulls, bears, like bears, like how strong and powerful these animals are. Like gorillas, big gorillas, like these are very powerful creatures at a different level than we understand. Like they're very, very strong. Like, and they could crush us like a melon. And you just saw how he flung that guy in the air like he weighed 15 pounds.
Facts. Dude, like he was like 10 feet up, man. Like insane. And Derek says, holy cow.
Iowa says that's me. Iowa says that's me every day of my life. Like basically in Iowa, when you leave your house, you're like playing Frogger. You're running away from like cows and bulls.
Here's another good one from Snowball. He says, Scott Foster, are you okay?
I was gonna say that's where Modine went.
Dude, hilarious. By the way, the next day, like, because that went hella viral. The next day, we did hear that the old man is okay somehow. Somehow.
Oh my God! How did he not break his hip? See the way he landed?
Insane. Let's see what the chat.
Can you imagine Green Bean being thrown up like that?
I mean, that's one way to do a cartwheel. I mean, I'll tell you that.
Or my big bald head getting floated.
You know what surprised me is that man evaded him for longer than I thought he would.
He was last going this way, zigzagging that way and that way. Man, the guy was like Breece Hall. No, it was like Marcus Allen in the Super Bowl. until he wasn't.
Let me see here. A couple final comments here. Derek chiming in on the Ruckert talk. He said, it would bum me out to cut Ruckert and see him succeed somewhere else, especially as a blocking tight end. I know that is a strong opinion from Jets fans, not about Ruckert, but like in general, when you have a guy that's not performing to your expectations, you always have that little devil in the back of your head saying, it's us, it's not him. Do you feel like that could be the case with Ruckert? Should he, get cut or something like that?
If he went to a team, if he got cut and went to a team where he played, like, again, 60% plus of the snaps, he's going to do some things. He did for us. He's going to get some passes, and you're going to see it and say, "Oh, he's good." Right. But then you got to remember, you're not seeing the bad. When he misses the block, if he does drop the ball, or that he doesn't get open enough, that he's not really that great of a weapon. Like, we're only going to see the good because that's the way you see it when you lose a player. I honestly don't think – I'm not worried. I don't want to cut him because I think, again, we need the backup. We need the depth in the room. But the last thing I'm worried about, he's not going to be a star anywhere else. But, yeah, he might – if he goes somewhere else and plays, he's going to make some plays. He makes plays for us. He made plays for us. He does. So, I mean, if he goes somewhere else, he's going to make some plays. I mean – look, what's his face? Moore is a terrible wide receiver. He was a bust for us, right? He went to Cleveland. He didn't do much there. He ends up in Buffalo and scores a touchdown against us and celebrated it like he won the Super Bowl because that's all, like the greatest moment of his life. He didn't even make it to the playoffs with them. They cut him. He was cut from the Bills before the season ended. So we may have been thinking, oh, look, of course he does good against us. It's like, yeah, but we saw that play with him, but he didn't have success in Buffalo. He lost his job and got cut.
Agreed. Here's a segue for you, Jeremy. Chubb for Club chiming in. he asked earlier, will D'Angelo Pons have a better rookie year than AZ Thomas? And then another one for you from Derek. He says, I think by the time the season comes to a close, AZ and Pons will be CB's 1 and 2.
That's the hope.
But
that's the hope.
Yeah, that is the hope. But back to I don't know if he means AZ Thomas's rookie year or AZ Thomas's current year. But interpret that
he's
how.
saying, it sounds to me he's saying better rookie year. So, do I think he'll have a better rookie year? Well, I think the one difference is D'Angelo Pons will have a different role starting it. Like, I think he's going to play more slot. So it's like apples and oranges. It's really hard to compare. But I think I'll say this. I think he'll have a better year as far as impact. Like, I think he's going to have a more positive impact than AZ Thomas had. But I think that they each could both be very important to our team in the future in different ways.
You know what? The first one I sent you, which you said that is the dream Derek had about Pons and Thomas being CB's 1 and 2. Derek's been spitting some good takes down there, Chaos. I don't know how much
great.
of them.
I love this guy. I don't know him, but I love him.
Do you want to meet him?
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, Dirk? How you doing?
What's up, brothers? Not much.
I've met you before, I think.
Heck, yeah. I think just one time. Yeah, I love all your takes on the Jets, man. You and DZ do such a good job. I think you guys are putting out some really good topics today. Cool. I know that I thought it sounded like kind of a hot take, even when I'm typing. I'm like, do I want to hit enter right now? But so weeks 1 through 7 last year, I think Brandon Stevens was like one of our top rated defensive backs in all of football via PFF. I'm not sure if he can maintain that. I love his size. I love his build. I love his length. I think we really got – I really feel like we missed out last year when AZ got hurt. And Darius Butler, pretty heavy on Pat McAfee. He thought that AZ Thomas out of Florida State was one of the top corners coming into the NFL draft. And he actually had one of our only – or would have been an interception. Like if it was just like – I think it's 1 foot out of bounds. I got a lot of high hopes for AZ Thomas, and I see a lot of people in the Jets world. They're talking about D'Angelo Pons maybe just being a nickel or just an inside corner. I know he's only 5'9", but he played against solid Big Ten competition against Oregon, Ohio State, Miami, and the Natty. And all he did was shut wide receivers down. I know Revis was an inch taller, I guess 5'11". We'll give him 2 inches. I think D'Angelo Pons has a really good chance to be a playmaker on this defense. And for being the only team in NFL history to go an entire NFL season without having a single interception, I know I don't want to put too much on the rookies, but as much as I love Darren Muji, I think there's a lot of pressure on AG and David Bailey and D'Angelo Pons, all our top 50 draft picks, Sadiq and Omar. I know we're putting a lot of faith in our rookies, but Frank Reich has had a top 10 offense in the National Football League in 6 of his 8 years as an offensive coordinator. So I just kind of wanted to take a second to gather your guys' thoughts on what your most intriguing training camps battle are coming in before we put pads on. July 28th, shout out. Heck yeah, I can't wait. But what are your most exciting parts? Is it the offense? Is it the defense? Is it the exciting rookies? What are you guys thinking?
So hard because there's so many things. Because we revamped this roster so dramatically with so much talent, like young talent, and then guys coming back from injury like AZ Thomas, like you're right, because he was getting better every week. We don't know where he would have ended up by the end of the year. And he was becoming that guy we loved coming out as a prospect, right? So it's really hard I have so many things I'm excited to see. But I think if I had to pick offense or defense overall, I would have to say offense because we've been waiting so long to be a team that can score and be a real team in the NFL as far as scoring points.
Yeah.
Since you said offense, Chaos, I am going to go the other way. honestly, I could argue either, and I don't know how specific you meant. Like, did you just want the position, like which side of the ball, or like the nitty gritty?
You
We
go
hit
either.
some nitty. Yeah, we hit some nitty gritty, but I will say, like you kind of said it in the question as well. The rookies, I think, for me, is the most intriguing thing to see. But let me just take a moment and say, like, this might be, and I hope I'm not overstating this or like, misremembering, but I feel like this is one of the most anticipated training camps that I've had, as minus the Aaron Rodgers coming in that, but like, dude, we just have so much youth we're injecting, and youth last year that's gonna hopefully take the next step, and youth the year before, like Olu, taking next steps. Like I really do feel like last year was just so shitty that I feel like we could have half the team take next steps this year. So I'm really interested to see, does Fashanu step up? Does Membu take another step? Oh my God. Does Brees play like it's a contract year for him, even though he didn't last year? Will he this time, being paid? Garrett, is he hungry for the ball since he hasn't had it in 10 months or whatever? There's just so many things to watch. AZ Thomas, I think, Brandon Stevens, like, how does Brandon Stevens? Good.
I'm sorry. I was like, finish that thought. But there's one player that we haven't even mentioned that I want to say something about.
I got you. You piggyback in 1 second. Brandon Stevens, though, to me, has to feel slighted. Like you said, he held the torch for 7 weeks. He was the guy. Then he wasn't, in my opinion, for the large majority of the second half. Then we brought in new guys, and I just feel like he has to play with a chip on his shoulder this year. Does he? But I could literally rattle off 10 more guys. So Chaos, if you got something on the tip of your tongue, go ahead, brother.
One of the things I'm really excited about, and it's kind of interesting because I'm not overhyping him. I'm not going to overhype this player, but because of what it would mean for the organization and how organizational changing it could be, I'm excited to see Cade Klubnik. I want to see him in camp. I don't mean to overhype him. I know he might not even play. He's probably not even going to play this season unless, he's not supposed to if Gino plays okay. But here's the thing. Even though I still know and I'm acknowledging that he is a long shot, quarterbacks in the 4th round are 5% at best to become real quarterbacks in the NFL, right? Yeah. Statistically, in the last 25 years. But that aside, why am I excited? Because even though it might be a 5% chance, that 5% chance would change our organization. Like if he came in and hit that 5% and was the franchise quarterback, think of what that means for this team. That means we go into next year, and I don't know how we'd figure it out. Maybe Gino gets hurt or, we're out of it anyway. He comes in and he lights it up. But if that 5% somehow happened and we found out that we have our quarterback, we get 3 picks in one of the strongest drafts in over a decade.
Yeah.
Next year, and don't have to use one on a quarterback. And we know we have our guy. That's the most important thing. Like, we would know we have our guy. Think of how amazing that would be. So even though I don't want to overhype him and say I believe he's going to be, I know it's a long shot. Man, am I excited to see this kid in preseason and in camp. In this hope that this miracle, this lightning will strike us. And we will have a quarterback now instead of having to wait till next year.
Oh man!
If that doesn't get another membership at a Chubford club, I don't know what will. Dom C has entered the chat, dude. I don't know. You said Jake Asman, dude. Chaos. You said Jake Asman, and then he caught a membership. Then we talked about Boss Girl. She showed up. Then I told you Dom C's hot take about Malachi Moore, and you talked this whole load of a bull about Dom C's takes, and then boom, he shows up.
It's just a little sarcasm there.
The only thing that I said that was, but I did talk a little crap when I said no shit, Sherlock.
Dude, that's awesome. To JC's point, man, just imagine what it could be. Because I love Cade Klubnik, and if you look at Bill Parcells' list on he wants quarterbacks over 50 wins, or 50 games plus played, 30 plus wins. I mean, Cade Klubnik, he checks a lot of those off. But to Chaos's point, like, man, if we have 3 first-round draft picks, and like, I want Geno to succeed, but I mean, how many games out of the gate would you have to be? Would you have to be like a 3-6? Or like a 4-7 before you like, man, we got Cade Klubnik on the bench. Geno, maybe he's sitting somewhere around 7-7 in terms of touchdowns, interceptions. The record's not where it is. You want to see what you got in Cade Klubnik. And man, if Cade Klubnik, because I get kind of Chad Pennington vibes. This is a hot take coming. But like, I mean, and I want Geno to succeed. Like, we haven't won more than 7 games in a decade. Like, I definitely want to win. But to Chaos's point, man, if you throw in Cade, I don't know, say he goes 2-2 in like the last 5-6 games of the season, and you're feeling pretty confident about him, you could take that dart throw. It's because 2027 draft is being one of the most hyped of all time by anybody that covers it. So if you have 3 first-round draft picks and you feel pretty good about Cade Klubnik, regardless if AG's there or not, and you still got Frank Reich, in the wake, and if Frank Reich's offense, because we haven't had an offense that wasn't bottom 10 in a decade. And that's the worst since 1970. Fun stat fact. So, like, if you have Frank Reich and Cade Klubnik, showing you glimpses, you got 3 first-rounders plus the 3 first-rounders we got this year, and Omar, Sadiq, and Bailey. That's a 5th-year option you can have on 6 potential guys, with Muji putting us in the position to have 3 first-round draft picks for next year. So even if you like Cade, and the Bucks haven't paid Baker Mayfield yet, so would you want to, like, maybe be like, hey, Bucks, Baker, you don't want to pay him? The Jets, hey, we'll take you. I was a big Baker Mayfield fan. The only walk-on to ever win a Heisman in college at Oklahoma. So like, if it's going to be, we need to see how these games pan out for sure. But like, if you love Cade, and like, I like Cade, but like, if Geno struggles, and like, I cannot stress this enough, I hope Geno wins. I want to win football games. But like, if your record's 4-8, you want to throw Cade out there, see how many wins you can get. Are you comfortable keeping Cade going into year 2 and taking those 3 first-round draft picks and not burning them on a quarterback? How would you guys feel about that?
Well, here's the thing. It depends on the sample size. So let's say Geno got hurt week 6. Yeah. Knock on wood, not rooting for it, but let's say he gets hurt. And let's say Cade comes in, and let's say he shocks the world. Let's say he comes in and pulls a Brock Purdy. Right? He comes in, like you're saying, he's throwing 68% completion rate. He's getting 250 a game. He's got, he's getting 2 or 3 touchdowns some games and not too many interceptions. Let's say he just starts, oh my God, right? Like, he's really good. It's like really excellent. And like, enough to the fact, because if we don't get a big sample size from him, we have to take a quarterback.
For sure.
We have to, right? But if something goes wrong, but then turns out to be really something went right, because we discover we have our guy. I'll throw a curveball at you. He's something even better. So imagine he comes in game 6, blows everybody away. Holy cow, he's the talk of the league. The Jets have their quarterback, right? This wonderful thing happens, right? Then we go into the draft, and let's say, whether it's us or the Colts, we have the number 4 pick in the draft. Like, let's say we have 4, 10, and 17. That's our draft order, right? Our picks. Okay. What if we're suddenly in a position to take 4 and trade back to 9 or 10 or 7 or 8 and get a haul of picks, some more picks, because we don't need a quarterback. And there's a lot of quarterbacks, and everybody's running to trade up for quarterback. And now we're at 4, and somebody wants to trade up to get CJ Carr or Mensa or one of these guys, right? So they're trading up to us, and they're giving us they're swapping with them, and they're giving us next year's first and maybe this year's second or third, right? Think about that.
I love that scenario, because that's a flyer. That's a flyer too. Assuming in your scenario that Geno does get hurt, we start Cade next year, and we've seen what the Browns got for just trading up the Jaguars just to get Travis Hunter. So, like, if we're sitting there at 4 and we just trade back, so you want to gamble on a quarterback in 2027, which I personally think is a good class. But if you can get a haul like 2nd and 3rd after that, I love that scenario you painted there, Chaos. I never even thought about that.
If you don't need a quarterback, if you go into that draft not needing a quarterback, then Tom Seals say this more than anyone. and you're in a great year for a draft that's deep, that's the year to trade back.
Yeah,
because you're going to get good players in later on in that draft, and then we keep up the momentum of next year. Like, because this year we ended up with, we had 2, but we ended up with 3. Next year we got 3 first-round picks. If you do some, if like this is why I'm saying that I'm so excited about Kid, even though it's a long shot. I'm saying if it happened, it would be life-changing for us as Jets.
bliss.
It would be bliss because now we get to trade back and get more draft capital in a deep, deep draft, the best draft in over a decade. Sweet. And we get to go into 20. We get to go into we get to go into 28 with 2 first-round picks. So we get to keep up this momentum of every year we got so much draft capital.
Oh, I love that.
I love it too, but I think you guys are out of your gourd. Okay.
Yeah, we're assuming a lot of things.
Well, I mean, it's not okay. So for me to get where you guys are, it would not be the scenario you painted where it's once you're mathematically eliminated, then Klubnik comes in and he balls out. For me personally, that would not be enough for me to pass on this class with the ammo we have next year. I think that would be foolish as hell. I'm not being mean. I'm just saying personally, no way.
I think
I'm still taking
fair.
What could happen though that would make me in the camp you guys are, or let's say Gino gets hurt in the first 6 weeks and then we get Cade for like 10, 12 games and he balls out. Then I'm with you. But if it's like 6 weeks, even that's not enough for me. Because like how many of those final 6 games are playoff contenders? Context is so key there. But like 10, 12 games, bro, that's a different story. That's a very large sample size. Then I would think about trading back. But like, I'm sorry, I need more because
that's why I'm saying game 6. Like he has to come in game 6, like still have a real sample size.
The other thing is like, what if you do think he's the guy, but you still draft one? Does that guy's value really degrade? I mean, I guess it could, but like, I'd rather have 2 quarterbacks than 0. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. There's this statistic they shed on the Pat McAfee show. Like the Packers, they always throw darts at quarterback. They're always drafting it, no matter what round. So to your point, DZ, I would definitely be a fan of that, I think. And it's just, who are you playing? How much do you win by? How good does Cade look? And I guess I would segue by saying, what quarterback would both of you guys prefer in next year's draft? I'm a big Dante Moore fan, but everyone's hyping up this draft class in terms of quarterbacks like it's next to nothing. You got Maeva, you got Nico Iamaleava from UCLA, you got Julian Sayin, you got Dante Moore, you got Darian Mensah. I mean, the list goes on and on in terms of quarterbacks. So are there any 2 quarterbacks, assuming, because we're going to command next year's draft with 3 first-round draft picks, I would assume. So that's why I love Chaos' point about that we could trade back. But are there any 2 quarterbacks that you guys are locked in?
Yeah, for me, and by the way, that's a variable that I didn't say, was how about this? How about he plays well enough, Klubnik, for enough games that, yes, we could still take a quarterback, but we don't have to. So we no longer have the pressure of trading up for one. If somebody falls on our lap that we love, we could take them. If they don't fall on our lap and no one's left, we don't have to reach. We could just make our picks. How about that scenario?
Yes.
But
I like it.
Right. So, but the 2 guys that I'm most excited about going in next year is Manning, because I think he ascended all last year from the game, his rough start to just got better and better and better.
Yeah.
And Mensah.
Mensah.
So I think he's gonna have a huge year in Miami. I think he's gonna have a very big year. He throws the entire route tree. He has like different speeds, touch down the sidelines. I already love what I see. Like I already see him making every kind of throw, and now he's going to be in Miami doing that. I'm very excited. Yeah. I think he might be the best quarterback Miami's had in a long time, and that's that. So
even over Carson Beck, who's a 5-star.
Well, I'm saying better than I think he's going to be better than Beck and better than Ward.
I think so too. I love that. What say you, DZ?
For me, this is not going to come as a shock to anyone. Dante Moore, first and foremost, by far. Like I would have drafted him this past year over Bailey. I do think that he has a real shot to hoist this year. Especially, dude, shout out to Corian Moore. Check him out, a young wide receiver they have that it was nicked up last year. I think he'll take another step, and they got a real chance. But needless to say, Moore is my first choice. Second, I will say I don't watch a ton of college ball. I watch Oregon, though, and that's why I say Moore. Second, though, if I had to pick, I'm going to lean on Dom with this one because he talked this guy up so heavily Friday night. And if you didn't see it, you got to check that out. But NC State's CJ Bailey, I don't know him that well. I'm going to say that first and foremost. But if you go to Friday's stream and you click the description, scroll down, go to transcript, and you just search Bailey, you will find Dom's talking points about CJ Bailey. And from the way he described him, he's up there for me as well. I'm going to have to watch NC State a little bit this year, though. That's for sure. But for me, far and away, Dante Moore, I would even – dude, if our best pick is like 8th, which I think it could be, if we got to spend all 3 and Moore is a top 2 guy like he was this year, I would do it.
NC State, the alma mater of
Philip
Rivers.
Yeah, I have to watch some CJ Bailey. I like that. Last year, I wanted Dante Moore over anybody. I was pretty bummed when he decided to go back to college, but with the money that people can make in the modern day NIL, I wasn't too surprised by it. But I'm a big Dante Moore fan, and to Chaos's point, I love Darian Mensah. I think he's going to have a big – I wouldn't be surprised if they won the national championship.
Dude, Murph loves him some Mensah as well. Let me segue to a question from the chat from our buddy Boomtown. Hell yeah, brother.
What's up, Boom?
Good question. How soon, and I'll start with you, Chaos, how soon is too soon to talk about who we are drafting next year?
I'll imitate Murphy answering that question. I'll talk about it right now if I want because Mensah is the guy I'm taking. Sorry, I just had to spit out some bottle cap that I almost swallowed.
Spittoon.
I think, look, I mean, it depends. How soon it depends on who you are. You know, Dom C is going to be talking about the draft next year because that's his main. That's what he does, right? That's
I love Dom C.
Right, that's what he does. That's his.
He's my favorite.
Right, yeah. He's looking at prospects. He's talking. So
he's okay.
That's where he puts his. That's where he puts his time. So for him, it's never too soon. He's looking. He's always looking. He's looking at this class. He's already probably thinking about what the 28 class is starting to shape up and look like. Who knows? But you know. So I'm not talking about this. I'm not thinking about that class. Then next year's draft class in terms of in the respect to we should lose games, so we should get a top pick. But I'll definitely until we have a quarterback, it's never not okay, or to me, it's never inappropriate to talk about potential quarterbacks. Like the conversation we're having right now, until we are proven to have our franchise guy, it is never too soon. For me as a fan.
Especially when you're a Jets fan.
Right. I'm constantly looking at college games, watching college games, looking at the quarterbacks, wondering who could it be? Where it's never too soon. And then I watch college ball, man. So when I get excited about players, so of course I'm going to talk about it, whether we're winning or losing. Whether the Jets are losing or winning.
For me, it's like this current team. That's like checking your bank account every day. But what Boomtown's talking about, that's like checking your 401k.
Sure.
I kind of like 401k stocking a little more. Derek, what do you think? And also, like, is this a conversation that needs tabled after? Like, this might be the last, like, real football, pads, hitting next week. Is this the last time and then you table it? Or do you continue talking about this throughout the whole season?
It's a good question, DZ. I think it's something that is going to need to be talked about. just because the simple fact that this is just a quarterback-driven league, and when you're a team that's had such strife at said position, I mean, because I'm with Chaos, like I love college football. Every Saturday, I worked 2 jobs for 11 years, and then one of my owner died, and then like new ownership took over, and I finally got Saturdays off, so I could just watch college football every Saturday. So I feel like I'm just constantly looking at the quarterback position. But I think when you're a team that's just struggled as much as the Jets, to Boom's question, I think that I'm looking at the draft every year. I'm just hoping that this year, if the season's over by Halloween, it's like 1-3 we can dig a hole out of. 0-4, that's what I'm kind of like. The Titans week 1 is just so vital to like not even just the team success, because I feel like Muji has us positioned pretty well in the future with 3 firsts next year. But I just think for the Jets morale as a fan base, I just think we gotta hit the ground rolling. And I think if you love college football, no matter what you're a fan of, like even if you're a Chiefs fan, like live in Kansas, like I know they're always looking at college players and what positions, but I think that is definitely something that I'm worried about every single year as a Jets fan. I think so for sure. To Boom's point.
Let me pose a question. We don't have to really gnaw on it for a while, but I just want to. You said something that caught my mind, and it's like you said 3 first rounds next year, and I thought to myself, for now. So let me ask you this:
what's up, Bradley?
Trade deadline is like what, week 10? What would we have to start? Chaos, I'll start with you. What would we have to start for you to start thinking, Will McDonald, et cetera, et cetera? Do we try to get a 4th first rounder? I mean, I'm just saying, like, what will we have to perform like in September and October for you to be a seller early November? And again, we're going to table this hypothetical shit next week. This is kind of just a last hurrah here.
Well, Will McDonald wouldn't get a first. And if he did, if he was playing well enough to get a first, then you don't do it. Because with Edge, if he's doing well enough that he could get another team wants to give a first round pick for him, that means you don't do it because you have an edge. And it's like quarterback. It's so hard to find a guy who actually hits. You give me he'd have to be on pace to have a 14 to 16 sack season for someone to right away be willing to give a first rounder for him, considering he's running out of time to be cheap, right? You're going to have to extend him and pay him. And then he's not great against the run, and he hasn't been anything near that value. So if he in 8 games is going to convince somebody to use a first round pick on him, that means he's playing at a level, and maybe it could happen because he's standing up now. Maybe in a 3-4 it'll suit him. That means he's dominating. That means he is breaking out. You don't trade an edge that's breaking out.
What about anyone else, though? Anyone else? I mean, like, what would have to happen for you to say, hey, Muji, let's add to this bounty? That's the main point here. Like, is our draft complement next year finalized? Could we trade away assets? Could we acquire assets?
I mean, the only guy I could see that would get a haul, like that's not a rookie or someone that's untouchable, is Garrett Wilson. I'm a big no.
Yeah.
I mean, what established stars do we have that would get a first round pick? I just can't think of it. Like, I can't think of any guy that would garner that pick except Garrett Wilson.
Or a 2nd or a 3rd.
Right? Because we're not touching Membo. Right? So, and if Ashanu starts doing great, we're not giving away our left tackle. Right? So it's just Garrett. Well, it's really just Garrett Wilson. Even if Breece Hall is having a great year for a running back, no one's giving a first round.
No. So what do you think, Derek? Good.
I love Chaos's point. I just have to push back a little bit because I was actually very shocked that we got a 1st and 2nd round draft pick for Quinnen Williams, and we got 2 firsts for Sauce. And Sauce is a little bit different because he was the first defensive back since Ronnie Lott to win back-to-back first-team All-Pros. It's tough. So, like, in terms of Will McDonald, like, I think, and we've seen what the Seattle Seahawks gave us 2 firsts for Jamal Adams. So like what we think of value in terms of our own players might be different than some other GM looks in terms of like and especially in terms of positional value. But I am with Chaos in that like you cannot let go of Garrett Wilson. We've been searching like I feel like my whole life for just like a true number one receiver who's just that guy. But for the most part, I agree with Chaos. But I don't know. To Chaos's point, which I really like, that I don't know if we have any like peaking player like maybe outside of Will McDonald. But I was also blown away whenever the Browns got rid of Myles Garrett. Like, so it's just how us as fans view certain players compared to other GMs, especially when they think they're a piece away. Like even Jerry Jones with Quentin Williams and the Seattle Seahawks with Jamal Adams. I'm not for sure, but that is a great question. But I do think that we have the talent on this roster, and this is the most faith I've had in the coaching staff in quite some time. So by the time the trade deadline does come around, I think Muji's going to put us in pretty good position to succeed, brothers.
I'm with you. Derek, fantastic call tonight, man. Call in anytime. Dude, I love it because you came in, you not only answered our questions, but you had ones of your own, and I appreciate it. We stuck to Jets talk. I think the viewers appreciate that as well, man.
Thanks,
have
guys.
a good week.
You too, fellas. Can't wait to see you guys again. JETS, Jets. Thanks for having me. Love y'all. Take care.
Great job, Derek. Awesome job.
Thanks.
Hell yeah, man. I'm glad when we open the call-in line and get a caller like that, Chaos. Final thoughts. I do have a video here of you. You know what? I don't know. Let me give you the right to tease anything about it you would like. I don't want to overshare or undershare, but let me just say Costco.
I'll tell you what, Costco has a new product. They took the calzone off of the hot foods where you buy lunch. They took the calzone away, and I was bummed. I said, they took away the calzone. I go, it's not a real calzone. It's a West Coast calzone. They fill it with sausage and meat and stuff, no ricotta, but they replaced it with a basket of chicken tenders. And this morning, I decided, like when I was at Costco, on the way out, I said, you know what? I started to hear people talking, chirping about these chicken tenders being really good. So $7, I said, man, they don't have items that usually cost $7. That's like their expensive item. That was the calzone. Anyway, I get it. And they give me this basket filled with these giant strips of chicken tenders. It was heavy. It was like, I said, this would be $15 to $20 in a restaurant. Maybe it would come with some fries, but I mean, this is a lot. Like when you go to Burger King or you go to like one of these fast food places, you get 3 strips of chicken tenders and it's like $5 or $6. You know,
Dude,
and these were like huge. Anyway,
you said chirping. It was like 3 chickens.
It was like 3 chickens, but like, but anyway, it was like they give you like 5 of these things, but it's substantial, like filled me up for lunch. But anyway, I reviewed it on my channel, Brooklyn Brothers Food Review. It just dropped today. I like using that kind of talk. Dropped. Hip. I'm hip. It dropped today. So if you go to Brooklyn Brothers Food Review, you could watch me review the Costco chicken tenders. Check it out immediately.
I will say, in my thumbnail, Breece Hall. What did I say that Breece Hall was doing? Chaos.
Well, he was chirping, and that's why I used specifically the word chirp.
Chirp, chirp. Well done. I loved that.
In the video, I used the term, and I always do this when I say it's hoopla. There's a lot of hoopla. That's what Afram. That's how Afram talks in his life in Brooklyn. He's like, "What's with all this hoopla about dry rock and sheets? And I could fix it."
I love it, Jeremy. We did 2 hours. Not what I thought we would do, but dude, we talked easily and that's my favorite kind of show, man. We went a couple different ways in the beginning, and then we locked into Jets talk, and I enjoyed it. I hope you did as well, viewers. I hope you did. I got the Costco chicken tender review, which I've seen. I was the very first view, baby, and I commented. You guys got to do the same.
Comment. Tell them Chaos sent you. Let my brothers know who brings the traffic to our channel.
Also, tell them who is the most handsome brother of them all. You know, just do that. Appreciate you, Jeremy. Chat, appreciate you. We'll see you next Sunday night with Chaos. We're going to have Mr. Matt O'Leary. Can both of them give Dano a reality check? See what I did there? All right, man. All right, show. Everybody, have a good night. Have a good week. Kill it out there. Chaos?
Peace
well
out,
done,
man.
sir.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Yeah.
Peace.
Good talking to you, bro.
Peace.
You know, I'm convinced we're the most cursed team in professional sports.
You guys are bad.
Love you, Charles.
But with Modine, I'll be here every week, baby, when I'm able to. So if you love this pretty face, you're going to get used to this shit all the time.
You listen to me, and you listen to me good. Jets fans. I stand with my boy Green Bee. The New York Jets are making the playoffs in the 26/27 season. We are going to amaze people. We're going to blow you away. Playoff team. The playoff New York Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time! So get ready to rumble!